The hold is one of the most important things you have to know as a sports bettor, yet you never hear some of these so-called betting gurus on social media talk about it. Now, if you only bet once every couple of months and it's not really that big of a deal, but if you bet more than that, you absolutely have to know this because this is how the sports books make their money. Don't believe me? Look at this trend of hold by sportsbook app. You can see FanDuel is leading the competition. Now, guess who also has the most revenue out of any sportsbook? You guessed it, FanDuel. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't be using FanDuel. I use FanDuel all the time. It just means that you have to be aware of what types of bets you're placing. Let me explain. So the hold or the vig or the juice is just the percent of dollars wagered that the sports books keep for themselves. Think of it like a tax you pay to make bets. Think about it. You've never seen a bet with plus 100 on both sides of a line. It's usually minus 110 for a spread, right? That's because the sports books build in their cut and some bets have a way higher tax than others. So let's say the spread of a game is minus 6.5 at minus 110 odds. And let's say one person bets on team A at plus 6.5 and one person bets on team B for minus 6.5, each of them wagering $110 to win 100. That means the sportsbook collected $220 total, and no matter what the outcome of the game, they're going to pay one person $210, their original $110 bet plus their $100 winnings, and they're going to pocket $10 of pure profits. Now, multiply this by thousands of bets a day. Now, in real life, though, this sort of balance situation rarely happens because remember from our first video, we know how market makers actually set and move the lines and retail books just copy them. So you'll routinely see these retail books have lopsided handles, aka an uneven distribution of money on one team or another. But since the books are constantly collecting a tax on every bet that's placed, they're still able to turn a profit overall. All right, so let's look at a real life example that really drill this point home. So let's look at the Eagles versus Buccaneers playoff game. The Bucks money line is plus 136, meaning you would risk $100 to win $136. But here's the important part. The book is therefore risking $136 to win your $100. Or another way of saying that is you're placing a bet for Bucks plus 136, and therefore the book is taking your bet for Bucks minus 136. Why is that important? Because you can't get the Eagles at minus 136. They're only available to you at the more expensive minus 162 odds. So what's happening here is the book is selling a bet for a higher price than what it's buying it for. This is why it's so important to know about implied probabilities because it makes this concept so much easier to follow. So let's go through it one more time looking at it from that lens. So the Bucks at plus 136 odds equals a 42.4% chance of winning. That's what the book's saying. The Eagles at minus 162 odds is a 61.8% chance of winning. Now, if you add those two together, you get 104.2. And you'll realize, wait, hold up, how can one team chance of winning plus the other team's chance of winning equals over 100%? That doesn't make sense. Well, in this case, that extra 4.2%, that's called the hold. And again, that just means that's the percent of dollars wagered on that bet that the sportsbook would walk away with as pure profit if it had a risk-free or even-ish distribution of money. So to calculate the hold, you just convert the odds on both sides of a bet into implied probabilities, add them together, and then subtract 100 from that. And if you're not a math person, you can literally just Google hold calculators. There are a bunch of free ones you can use. So how do you know if it's a good hold or a bad hold? So on a spread bet with the odds on minus 110 on each side, that's a 4.76% hold. And a standard hold is anywhere between 4 to 5-ish%. So anything below this range is a pretty good deal for you. And anything higher than this, you're getting overly taxed on, you should try to avoid. But remember, if you're letting the sportsbook tax you at a higher rate, that means you have to win a higher percentage of your bets just to break even. And that's hard enough to do as is. This is why every professional bettor knows about the hold and why you should have multiple sportsbook apps so you can line shop and always find the best deal. So real quick, some examples of bets with high holds would be bets with minus 115 odds on both sides of the line, or bets with more than two outcomes like win, lose, or tie bets, future bets, or first basket bets. These are bets you definitely do not want to make a habit of betting because you will lose money over the process of your career. So you're probably wondering, if the books are taxing us, making it hard to win money over the long run, and showering us with bad bets, why should I even bother? There is good news. If you're just betting on games that have action, you're definitely gonna lose money. But if you put in a little bit of work, you can absolutely pick off bad lines at sportsbooks, aka good lines for you. they're out there and these bad lines happen way more often than you might think. So you can find edge and actually get value to win money in the long run. We're going to talk about betting strategies later in this series, but the most important things to know for now are: one, always look at multiple sports books to shop for the best possible line. And two, before you place a bet, quantify what you believe a team's chance of winning is or exactly how much they would win by. If you start doing this, you'll see what are good bets and you'll see which bets are clearly overpriced, meant to drain your bank account. All right, that's it. And now that you know about this, we can talk about things like live betting and parlays and why those can either be great bets or terrible bets. All right, as always, good luck.